What's going on, everyone? I talked about it yesterday, but the new festival has arrived. Actually, quicker than I thought. I did the little math wrong. It was a day earlier than I thought it was. I was looking at the calendar, but it just, it is what it is. But the point was, a previous video, maybe don't spend your gems. And as you see here, I actually ended up just getting one double S Arcana myself because the rewards from this Harvest Festival are supposed to be amazing, according to the leaks that we got. Therefore, let's dive right in and see what is going on here. So the main one is the Grand Harvest. We're used to this one. It's a common one. You go ahead and get your dice. You go ahead and roll your dice, and you move on, right? There's not really much, skill with this. Like, at least the fishermen, you can, try to use your lines and break them in the case of the bar not being as far as you want, because you can predict whether or not you're going to get a legendary fish or not. This one doesn't have anything like that. You just roll up, you spend your dice, and you get your points. The important part about it is, well, you can see here, you can buy 50,000 worth of gems, dice worth of gems. So 50,000 gems spent on the Harvest Festival, which actually, the Grand Harvest, which actually isn't as much as I thought you were going to be able to spend. But here's the shop. And we spoke about this beforehand. There are some absolutely massive bangers in this shop. First and foremost, the Double S limited selection brand. I'm going to go through and talk about these, I think, in its own separate video, because a lot of people have been overlooking these because they kind of just snuck up on people. Like, we had all the S brands in the game and you were able to use those and they were good, right? And then the Double S slowly started to release, starting off with the not the Demon Eye, but the Mechanical Eye. And then they added like Frankenstein and the White Robe Wizard. And you're like, are these even viable? And some of these are like best in slot. Like the Prince of Sanctuary and the White Robe Wizard are just disgustingly good for Sky Splitter. White Robe Wizard in general, anything that's doing crit is just disgustingly good. These don't come around everywhere. You need to get this. Even if you don't know what you're going to get, you need to get the box. 100%. Every single time it shows up. The other thing that I'm really, really wanting, Divine Weapon Cubes. You can see I have 60. I'm actually just about to go ahead and add double S another thing on my account. But every single time I see these in the shops, now that I know that they're going to be going in like 15 Divine Cube intervals, I want to pick these up because every 2 events, you can get another double S. Or, you could actually refine your other double S equipment. So super, super valuable. Another new thing that we're seeing, because these both are relatively new, the Legendary Relic Selection Box. Now, this is pretty solid as well. We've talked about, some of these relics, but these are going to be the selection box for the actual equipment effects. So you can see here, like this one's just going to give you sword chi damage. This one's going to give you extra sword chi damage at the beginning of the battle. Each one of these is going to be relevant, for your specific build. Now, they're not as good as you might initially think. Like, oh my gosh, 10% sword chi damage. That's huge for Sky Splitter. It's good, but it's really only going to be a minor damage increase. It's not going to be all that great. Does that mean that you should ignore it? Absolutely not. I think that the Legendary Selection Box is amazing. Actually, I think one of the things that is more, potentially useful for some of the builds out there, especially for the Whisperer builds, is combo rate. Getting an extra 2 to 3% combo rate when you're not capped out on it is massive, massive for your build. So that's something that I think maybe you should be considering getting over some of the ones that are, dagger damage increase or sword chi damage increase. For me, I want the brand box, I want the relic box, and I also want the weapon cubes. So I'm going to be going for all 3 of those. The alchemy regions are always good. The awakening cores are, kind of weak. The pet, whatever. But then there's also other awards that I still want, right? I still want the weapon box. I still want the gear box, the S-rank gear box and S-rank weapon box. I still would like the S-Epic Legacy box. This is always something I'm looking for because I don't have a Mythic Knight of the End, right? And guess what? There's still more that I want. Inheritance books, wishing scrolls, legendary keys, gem keys, relic keys, elite packs. The list goes on and on and on. In terms of my priority list, this is what I'm going to be doing. I definitely don't think we're going to have enough to get everything in this shop, which is a little bit unfortunate, to be honest. I would love to pick up everything in this shop. So we got to figure out, what can we pick up? Double S brand box is number 1. It's number 1. It is. You need to get this. After that, I'm going to be going for Divine Weapon Cubes. After that, I'm going to be going for the relic box, the relic selection box. These 3 I want. Okay. After all that, I'm going to be going for legendary keys, relic keys, and gem keys, and elite packs. Honestly, elite packs are probably the most important out of all of those. So elite packs, then legendary keys, then relic keys, then gem keys, then wishing scrolls, then inheritance books. Now, I do think inheritance books are amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm underrating them. I've talked about this a lot. I'm at the stage of the game, though, where I have way more inheritance books than actual, ability to spend them at the current moment. So it's going to be a little while until I need to start picking them up, because I did focus in on just getting as many inheritance books as I possibly could for a while. Well, I've got a little bit of a surplus now, so I can take a little bit of time and not pick the inheritance books box up. That said, I still want ghost books. I'm still running short on ghost books, so it's not like I'm going to skip out on these if I have extra resources. After the inheritance books, S Epic Legacy books, S Rank Gear books, weapon books, and then kind of whatever. If you need the limited brand, yes, get the Joker or the, whatever limited brand you want. But there's so many good things in this shop. So many that I don't think we're going to be able to get everything. And that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. There's also a few other things going on, right? Like the festival sign-in is going to give you some free rewards. There's a little bit of a gift going on, like some free key selections. I personally still would go for the legendary keys. I still think that's going to be the number one priority if you're not all mythic, but there is a consideration for the relic keys or the gem keys. I would also consider the relic keys, to be honest, because I don't have a ton of those. Then there's a harvest treasure hunt. Now this is more whale territory. As you can see, the new adventure is in here, and this new adventure is solid. It is solid. I haven't seen the math done yet, but I am excited to see what people showcase with this one. But I'm not even going to dive into it here. It has a lot to do with Lightning and Flame, and I think this is going to be potentially the new Best in Slot Reaper staff one. But just getting a copy of this is always solid. But you're not going to be able to unless you get extremely lucky. Because if you look, yes, you get your 2 per day. Yes, you could spend, 10,000 gems to get 20 of them. I don't think you should be, unless you're like whaling out already and you're going to get a bunch of them. And then you can spend a little bit of gems to get the final amount. But to be honest, if you're whaling, you don't need to conserve gems anyways. So just don't even worry about that. Because as you can see, the chance of getting the prizes is very, very low. And you're going to need to collect all of the prizes in order for you to get 1 box. So if you do happen to get lucky and you do get a pumpkin, what should you get? Up wish letters. Not a question. Up wish letters are amazing. You should be going for that. If you happen to get 5 pumpkins, divine weapon cubes is a consideration. Honestly, though, I would still go for 100 up wish letters. Double S brand progression is pretty rare to come by, so I would still consider that. You could, if you get enough, consider an artifact or that, but I would honestly just go for the adventure if I got enough. So that's not really something that I'm worried about. I wouldn't worry about the relic. Yes, the final skill damage reduction is good, but it's skill damage reduction, and I don't care about that as much as damage. So there's a lot of good stuff with this event, and I don't think we're going to be able to use all of our or get all the rewards in the shop. So use whatever you can, spend your 50,000 in gems, get what you can, and then start saving. There's a treasure team going on right now as well. So, you can potentially go for, your double S Arcana. This is something that's going to be worthwhile. I personally didn't go for mine yet because I was waiting. I was waiting to pick up my pet Arcana with the 300 pulls at the same time. But I'm probably going to be going for that as well. I'm still going for the treasure teams events because I do think the Arcanas are worth it. At the current moment, but I'm going to be so out of gems. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it for the winter event, but yeah, Harvest Festival. There's so many good stuff here. I'm going to go for it all. I mean, I'm going to do all the free to play things as per usual, guys, as wrapping up here, wait till the final day, wait 6 days, see how many pumpkins you've got. Maybe you got really lucky. Maybe you're able to get what you need to get, and then you don't have to spend it. If you're in a spot where, I got my brand box and I got my weapon cubes and I got my relic box and, I got a few of the keys down here. You're like, I don't want to spend because I'm not going to have enough gems for the winter event anyways. Well, it's a consideration because, the winter event's probably going to be equally, if not better than this event. So something to think about, okay? You know, make sure that you are planning to at least have 100K gems for that winter event, because I expect it to be pretty good. I expect it to be pretty darn good, okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all for the next one.